point, should have started the process of protecting themselves and their properties. But if you have not completed that process, we're urging you to get out and make certain that you complete the preparation. We certainly want all people within our community to be well sheltered by 10 p.m. tonight. It is suggested that you really should be off the roadways by no later than 6 p.m., but you should be well sheltered by 10 p.m. tonight. At this point, we are working here 24 hours a day within our Emergency Operations Center. The storm is moving faster than was anticipated, but again, we do not expect it to exit the county until about 6 p.m. tomorrow. That means that there's a strong possibility of localized flooding, flash flood warnings, and even flash flood emergencies are possible beginning tonight. In addition to heavy rain in Orange County, we anticipate sustained tropical storm force winds at 45 to 65 miles per hour overnight, and we will likely see wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour. That means that there's going to be some damage within our community. It means that we're likely going to have some localized flooding again. But we're prepared. We have done a lot of work with our Public Works Department to lower the water bodies throughout the county. We have pre-positioned pumping systems throughout the county to help us should we have additional localized flooding. We've opened our special needs shelters throughout the county, as well as our general population shelters. They were open as of yesterday. The 4 special needs shelters have approximately 240 people between them. That number includes clients and caregivers. Links has been assisting us in getting persons who are unsheltered to our various shelter locations. I want to say publicly to Links, thank you for the work that you've been doing. However, Links plans to cease operations at 3 p.m. today. Although there may be a few buses that will still be out, effectively their operations cease at 3 p.m., did cease at 3 p.m. In our 11 general population shelters, we currently have over 1,300 individuals there. That means that we have about 28% of our capacity is taken up. We can hold up to 4,000 people within our shelters. And so if you are one of those persons who needs to go to shelter, we do have space in our shelter locations for you to go. You can go to our website at ocfl.net, and there's a long list of where those specific shelter locations are as well. We are taking care of everybody, every animal even within our community. You may find it interesting that today at our various shelters there are 68 dogs, 28 cats, 1 bird, and 1 mouse, all cohabitating together in one location. At the Orange County shelter, more than 250 animals are being cared for. Our staff at our shelter will ride it out with those pets or animals that are at our local shelter. And so that's really a testament to the type of teamwork that we have here within Orange County. In addition, we have prepared our community. Within the last few days, we have distributed over 200,000 sandbags to our citizens, and that worked extremely well for us within our community. Also, I want to share with you that our utilities has comprehensive emergency personnel in place for our water and wastewater facilities to provide essential services to residents during severe weather. As a reminder, storing tap water in sanitized containers for drinking and cooking is an easy alternative to buying bottled water. I know some people can't help themselves and they're going to buy bottled water anyway, but it is a way to help yourselves. During periods of widespread and extended power outages, residents are asked to reduce their impact on the wastewater system by reducing water usage where possible. Today and tomorrow, our utilities will not be working with our haulers to collect curbside garbage or waste. In other words, there will be no garbage or curbside service for yard waste until Friday and Saturday. So today, Wednesday, and Thursday, no garbage collection. We will start on Friday and Saturday. Also, our fire rescue department worked this morning to make certain that their operational readiness was in place. They continue to make certain that those who are in prone areas for flooding have been given various warnings. That has taken place. Keep in mind that some of Orange County residents may have already experienced power outages as early as this morning. We still have a ways to go, but our utilities companies are assuring us that they will try to restore power as quickly as possible. What Visit Orlando has reported to us is that we are near capacity with the 103,000 hotel rooms that we have in our community. They are 75 to 90% full at this time. The best way to find a hotel, if you're looking, is to go on reservations.com and also go to Expedia. Advent Health asked that I share some information with you. If you are in need of health care during the storm and you're not able to leave your homes or go to hospitals, there's an alternative for you. You can do a video visit with a medical provider for patients in Florida. The video visit started this morning and will be offered through Thursday, October the 10th at 8 p.m. With the use of the code Milton. The video visits are available 24/7. Again, that is through Advent Health. The Orlando Utilities Commission could not be present for this press briefing, but they asked that I read a statement about their service delivery. As Hurricane Milton approaches Florida, OUC is ready to respond. Electric and water crews are in place and are ready to restore services as needed and when it is safe to do so. Additionally, mutual aid crews from other states have arrived and continue to arrive to stage for post-storm response. To get additional information, you can simply sign up for outage alerts offered in English and Spanish by texting REG to 69682, which is my OUC. With that, I'm going to ask Congressman Maxwell Frost to come forward and share some information with you from a federal perspective, and then I'll come back up after Maxwell Frost. Congressman Frost.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here as we discuss Hurricane Milton and the serious threat that it poses to our community. I have 3 quick points. The first one has to do with FEMA support and the emergency declaration. I spoke with FEMA earlier today. The White House checked in twice, both yesterday and this morning, on the storm. I want to assure everybody in our community that Florida has strong federal support in terms of this storm and our previous storm and the cleanup that's going on. President Biden and Vice President Harris have approved the pre-landfall declaration, emergency declaration, which allows us to access critical resources at this point. At this moment, there are many federal resources pre-staged already and ready to jump into action. This includes and is not limited to FEMA incident management teams, urban search and rescue teams, 300 ambulances and helicopters, the United States Army Corps of Engineers temporary power team and debris removal team, and much more. I also want to address there's been a lot of dis and misinformation we're seeing online, even in our own community, about resources that are available to individuals directly from the federal government. It's important that people know that there's a process to this that hasn't been done yet. After the storm, the state will request this individual assistance from FEMA, and FEMA will then go through a process to grant it or not grant it. That process hasn't happened yet, and so if you see something online about we're saying, you know, the a $1,200 number, a $750 number, it's all misinformation. There is no number. There it hasn't been approved yet. It hasn't been requested by the state, and I think it's important for people to keep that in mind. And I'm talking specifically about federal resources going directly to people. If you want to stay up to date on this, obviously you can stay up to date through local officials. You can also go to repfrost.us/hurricane prep, and we will make sure to update that just after the storm. The second is yesterday, I was invited, or 2 days ago, I was invited by NOAA to take part in a hurricane hunters mission. I sit on the Science, Space, and Technology Committee and oversee the budget for NOAA. It was a very intense experience, an educational experience. We flew into Hurricane Milton on Monday on a 9-hour mission. We experienced the hurricane as a Category 5 and experienced a historic low pressure of 897 millibars. The extreme turbulence we experienced on the flight really underscores how ferocious and huge this storm is. I want to make sure that people don't take this lightly, and I also want to thank the amazing team at NOAA, the scientists and meteorologists, people on these flights that are flying into these hurricanes to give us the data that we need to make sure that we're saving lives. And so a huge shout out to NOAA and the hurricane hunters for the great work that they're doing. I was honored to take part in that flight. The last one is just obviously folks should listen to local officials in the county about what's going on. We heard it from the mayor. Please, once you get home and you get hunkered down, stay home. Don't leave until you hear that it's clear to go outside. You know, the motto during these storms are, we hope for the best and we plan for the worst. It's almost time for us to hunker down and get through this, and then as a community come together to clean up and making sure that everybody's okay. Thank you so much.
All right, I'm going to ask Director Banks to kind of come up at this point and give you some updated information about some of the other activities that have been going on here within the community. But I also want to say I appreciate the partnership that we have locally with Congressman Frost and the federal government, as well as our state officials. We have been joined by National Guards personnel within the Emergency Operations Center today. They're in our community prepared to respond if need be. Also, the Florida Department of Emergency Management is with us, and you're going to hear in just a few moments from the Florida Department of Health with Dr. Karsh, who is here. Also, Congressman, I did receive a phone call from the White House myself today offering up whatever assistance is needed for our community. I told them stand by. You know, we'll let them know what that will be in due time. In addition, we had Senator Scott, to his credit, he reached out to us as well today, and so I do acknowledge his phone call. And with that, at this time, I'm going to ask Director Banks to come forward and share information.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon. As Mayor Demings mentioned, you know, we're moving very quickly into what I call our impact phase. As a reminder, we discussed yesterday, we really have 3 different phases in emergency management. Our preparedness phase, which has been going on for several days, and very quickly we're moving into impact. Mayor Demings covered many of the aspects of our preparedness phase. Our sandbag plan was intentional, over 200,000 sandbags distributed by Orange County government. Our shelter plan was intentional. As Mayor Demings mentioned, we're at about 30% of our capacity, and that's good. That we intentionally created more shelter opportunities than we anticipated people would take advantage of, because we want to make sure that there is enough shelter capacity to accommodate anyone that wants to come to one of our shelters. As a last example of some of our preparedness, we already started having some responsiveness into the community as early as yesterday afternoon. We had some water issues in the Bithlo community. They were under a boil water notice, and we had some concern about their potential to have potable water through the storm. So utilized our fire department to deliver several pallets of water into the Bithlo community, as well as a particular community down in District 3, Starlight Ranch Mobile Home Park, that didn't have any water. We delivered several pallets of water also to that community. And I offer that as just an example of what we're prepared to do after our impact phase, which is our response phase. That's what we will move into hopefully by tomorrow afternoon, where we start assessing the damage to Orange County, assessing our power outages, assessing potential flooding, and with loss of water. We are prepared. Water, as an example, We have approximately 2 truckloads of water palletized that we're prepared to start distributing in the community if that becomes necessary. But as the mayor mentioned, as we come out of the storm tomorrow, we'll quickly be assessing what the damages are. We have hundreds of Orange County employees that will be working through the night and through the storm. And as quickly as we can get into that response phase afterwards, importantly with our partners with the power companies, we'll be responding out in the community to assess the emergency needs. So I'll turn it over now. We have Logan Stewart with Duke Energy here for an update from our partnership with them.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Logan Stewart. I'm with Duke Energy. Duke Energy Florida is finishing up preparations for Hurricane Milton. The company anticipates a major hurricane, as others have said, with life-threatening storm surge along the coast, significant rainfall throughout central Florida, and damaging winds in our service territory that many have not seen before. The company has readied 16,000 crews from across the country to respond to what we think will be more than 1 million power outages across our Florida service territory, and this could be more depending on the impact. Of the 16,000, crews are comprised of power line techs, vegetation management workers, damage assessors, and support personnel. These crews were in place last night at staging sites in the Villages and Ritchie Brothers Auction in Davenport, outside of what we believe will be Milton's projected path. They are as close to the impacted areas as possible so that they can respond as soon as it is safe to do so. This includes working in flooded areas. Once the storm has passed, we have additional pre-identified base camp locations that crews will move to in the hardest hit areas. When Duke Energy is ready to begin the power restoration process as soon as it's safe, we want to manage our customers' expectations and ensure that they are planning for extended outages. The storm's impact to our infrastructure could result in widespread equipment damage, causing extended outage durations for our customers. Also, significant damage to customers' homes and businesses could make structures unsafe to re-energize. During the storm, we remind customers to follow safety protocol. Follow the guidance and instructions of your state and local emergency management officials. In case of strong winds, stay away from windows and doors even if they are covered. Seek shelter in a small interior room, closet, or hallway on the lowest floor. If rising water threatens your home or if you evacuate your home, turn off your power at the circuit breaker panel or the fuse box. Disconnect or turn off any non-essential electrical equipment that may start automatically when power is restored, and this will help avoid overload circuits. Never replace a fuse or touch a circuit breaker with wet hands or while standing on a wet or a damp surface. Do not walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Just 6 inches of fast-moving water can knock you down, and 1 foot of moving water can sweep your vehicle away. Do not open freezers or refrigerators more than necessary. Opening these appliances will allow food to thaw quicker. For more information, you can see the FDA's food safety guidelines. If customers experience an outage, it can be reported by visiting Duke-Energy, that's Duke-Energy.com, or the Duke Energy mobile app, or by texting OUT, O-U-T, to 57801, or by calling 800-POWER-ON. Finally, please be sure you take a moment to update your contact information with your Duke Energy account and sign up for outage alerts so that we can provide up-to-date information to you related to outages. We would like to thank Mayor Demings and all of our partners today and just encourage you to heed their advice. This is going to be a really strong and powerful storm. Finally, all of us at Duke Energy would like to ensure our customers make safety a priority before, during, and after this storm, and please look out for your neighbors. Thank you. And I will now turn it over to Dr. Karch.
Thank you, Logan. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Robert Karch. I'm the director of the Florida Department of Health in Orange County. The Florida Department of Health is prepared is operating 4 special needs shelters at this time. Goldenrod, South Econ, Silver Star, and Freedom High School special needs shelters. These special needs shelters are designed for people who are electricity dependent, who require supplemental oxygen, who are mobility or memory impaired, or require special medication assistance. Registration for the special needs shelters can be done by calling 311 or 407-836-3111 for assistance, or clients can register on site. Caregivers should always accompany clients to the special needs shelters. Please bring all medications and instructions for taking the medications, provider contact information, emergency contacts. Please bring an ID with a current home address. Any assistive devices such as canes, walkers, wheelchairs, glasses, dentures, hearing aids, electrical chargers and extra batteries for electrical devices should be brought. Any special dietary foods should be brought, and any special needs for infants, toddlers, and children. Clients can remain in the special needs shelters until it's safe to return to their homes. The Florida Department of Health reminds Orange County residents never to drive through or swim in floodwater, never drink contaminated water. If in doubt, water can be boiled and should be boiled for at least 1 minute before using it for cooking, washing hands, brushing teeth, or making ice. As was already mentioned, generators should always be used safely outdoors, never in enclosed spaces, even in garages, always 20 feet away from the home and 20 feet away from the neighbor's home, and never around doors, windows, vents, or air conditioning units. After the storm ends, residents are encouraged to drain and cover all standing water in front and backyards to prevent mosquito-borne illnesses. For well owners, well water can be tested easily, free of charge by the Florida Department of Health in Orange County. Simply come by the Department of Health and pick up a water testing bottle, and we can test it for you. We can be reached at 407-858-1400 or at our website at www.orange.floridahealth.gov. Florida Department of Health in Orange County will continue to operate our special needs shelters and assist some of Orange County's most vulnerable residents. Thank you. Mayor Demings?
Okay, you can see that we have a lot going on within our community. We're joined today by two of my colleagues from the Board of County Commissioner Michael Scott and Commissioner Uribe. Both of them have been out today doing various things within the community. I know Commissioner Scott has been even delivering sandbags. So we do appreciate the work that they're doing to make certain that our community is being well served. I'm going to ask our EOC Director, Chief Avery from the Fire Department to come forward and just kind of talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the Emergency Operations Center here within Orange County, the collaborative effort that is underway with the various community partners. Chief Avery.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here to get the message out to our citizens and residents and visitors of Orange County. So we are in a level 1 EOC activation, which means every seat is filled. The mayor spoke about the state being here, the National Guard, but we also have many county departments, divisions, people that represent Public Works, Health Services, just every department in the county that is in the operations center so that we can respond, collaborate, communicate about whatever's going on in the county and work through so that we can respond quickly and recover quicker. So we are 24 hours a day until further notice. And, the partnerships, it's not just the divisions or the departments in the county, but it's also our nonprofit partnerships. It's all of the people that we train with all year round, every year, not just for hurricanes, but for any kind of disaster, that are well trained in the room, very well known to everybody because we train so much together, that just collaborate really well so that we can respond and take care of everybody. So we will be here until further notice and continuing to work together to take care of our county. Thank you.
All right. With that, I'm going to open it up for any questions that you may have. If there's Spanish-speaking media that has questions for Spanish, we do have a translator here, Mr. Palomino Torres, the Public Information Officer with the Fire Department, is here to help with the translation services. Also, Commissioner Uribe is bilingual with Spanish as well. So we'll open it up for any questions that you might have at this time.
Something that they can say, like a resume of what you guys say? to the people in Spanish.
Yes. So, Palomino, he'll give you a summary. He won't do it word for word. But
Gracias, buenas tardes. Bueno, como sabemos, el huracán Milton está por impactar nuestra área, así que continúan los preparativos y ese mensaje a todos los residentes del condado de Orange y de todas las áreas del estado de la Florida para que quienes lo necesiten busquen refugio. Como mencionaba el alcalde, hasta el momento de nuestros 11 albergues acá en el condado Orange han registrado 1.300 personas. Eso representa un 28% de la capacidad, así que hay espacio suficiente para que las personas que lo necesiten puedan atender a esos refugios, especialmente personas en comunidades de casas móviles, donde es una situación de alto riesgo, ¿no? Teniendo en cuenta lo que ha ocurrido en tormentas en el pasado. También están los refugios para personas con necesidades especiales, 4 refugios habilitados. Hasta el momento se han registrado 240 personas y, por supuesto, también hay disponibilidad. También se reciben pues las mascotas. Hasta el momento hay 68 perros, 28 gatos, un pájaro y un ratón que hacen parte de estos refugios. El condado Orange ha distribuido cerca de 200,000 bolsas de arena en las últimas horas y nuestro departamento, el Departamento de Bomberos, continúa monitoreando las 24 horas a través del Departamento de Manejo de Emergencias, nuestro centro de manejo de emergencias, las condiciones de lo que vaya ocurriendo con esta tormenta, con este huracán Milton. Estamos listos con nuestros equipos de operaciones especiales para responder ante cualquier emergencia y rescates conforme van pasando las horas y vamos viendo cuáles son los daños que van dejando estas tormentas. De momento los hoteles acá en el condado están a un 90% de su capacidad. También mencionaba el alcalde que Advent Health está ofreciendo un servicio de consulta a través de video, esto hasta el próximo 10 de octubre usando el código Milton. Y de igual manera, representantes de Duke Energy dicen que tienen 1.600 equipos listos para responder a esta emergencia, esperando ver dónde se van a presentar estos daños y tratar de restablecer el servicio de energía eléctrica lo más pronto posible. En cuanto a algunas recomendaciones que por supuesto ya todos deben tener muy presentes, es el uso de generadores eléctricos, usarlos fuera de la propiedad, en espacios exteriores, ni siquiera en el garaje con la puerta abierta, no es seguro. Eso representa un riesgo bastante alto y de igual manera si quienes desafortunadamente no tienen suficientes reservas de agua y de repente tienen la necesidad obviamente de cocinar, pues la recomendación de hervir el agua lo suficiente para evitar daños. ¿Alguna pregunta? ¿Estamos bien?
Una pregunta. Esos albergues y refugios que hablaste, que es un 23%, ¿cuál de ellos es el que más personas tiene?
Pues hasta el momento no tengo esa respuesta. Lo que sí le puedo decir es que las personas que necesiten esos refugios pueden visitar el sitio web. El sitio web ocfl.net, encuentran ahí toda la información de los albergues y la disponibilidad, pero hay bastante espacio, solamente se ha utilizado un 28%.
Gracias.
También hablaron de los animales.
Sí.
Hay animales en refugio, ¿me puedes dar un poquito más de número, si es que tiene alguno?
Sí, lo mencioné anteriormente, lo repito una vez más, hasta el momento hay 68 perros, 28 gatos, un pájaro y un ratón que han sido registrados en nuestros refugios.
Y el local más lleno es el Golden Rod.
Golden Rod, ok,
Sí, y
gracias.
son 16,000 preparados, no 1.600 que están preparados para la uso.
1.600, gracias.
16,000.
Lo importante, por supuesto, la recomendación a todas las personas que estén seguras en sus hogares, que traten de revisar a sus vecinos, de atender a sus vecinos y bueno, esperemos que sea lo mejor al final de esta tormenta. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Okay, are there any other questions? If not, any of the ones who have spoken at this point will be available for any one-on-ones. All right, thank you all, and we'll come back to you sometime tomorrow.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?